Big Phil.
I gotta say, especially your snare today, brother, is sounding the most Bonzo-like on the planet. In fact, people do lament the.
I hope with this new audio system we're experimenting with here, with the miking and the angle and everything and the EQ, we get a decent sound out of it.
Well, you know, the thing is, too, a quick reminder as far as snare tone, and even in Bonhamville, you have to remember the value of a rim shot.
Right.
Bonham was an expert at rim shots. That's so important to the sound.
Totally.
Totally.
And the rim shot with the sweet spot of the drum.
To show everybody the sweet spot.
It's basically try to get it right dead in the middle.
So when the levee breaks, it's so when the levee breaks. Like right now, I feel like I'm on stage at the Royal Albert Hall.
This is a live room. Yeah.
It is, but again, remember, a room is like an effects pedal for a drum set.
Hey, I have
you need air for a good drum set.
Right, right. Yeah, you gotta have the
sound waves.
That gives you the total sound of the drum set.
And to be captured by microphones.
Yeah. So hey, somebody had said something about when the levee breaks. Guy asked a question about why do you think he played it differently live?
Yes, you know what?
So I'd be curious to hear your.
You know what that was? That was the fellow who asked for the interview that we did. We did an interview,
right?
A written
Is
down.
It Bill?
I think so.
Okay, solid.
And
hey, Bill.
And my theory is that sometimes there's always the usual Bonham. You might just say, well, you just wanted to mix it up. You know what I mean? But also too. With when the levee breaks, everybody's so used to the monumental, big, huge sound that when you're sitting at your drums behind the monitors and stuff, you ever notice sometimes when you're behind the drums, while they might sound beefy and everything to the audience, sometimes they sound really dinky.
Absolutely, yeah.
So he might have just changed it just for himself. Sometimes even subconsciously, you just want to beef it up a little. That was what I put in my answer. I thought it was probably a lot of that.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point.
Do you want to play some stuff that he used to do?
Yeah, well, so first of all, on the studio version, even though it's probably the most well-known beat of his, I still think that first bass drum beat is a strong downbeat followed by a slight afterbeat. Like right?
Yeah, but yes.
Yeah. So.
Well, I do think that there were some that were probably naked one stroke.
Yeah.
But there's no doubt many of them were that.
Were this.
Yeah.
That was Kashmir.
Absolutely.
Kashmir up in his. And then. And you would have to do a note-by-note transcription.
Yes.
Very anal retentively to find, in the 8th measure, on the second bass drum note, he played a singles note.
A nice straight thud.
And honestly, I don't really care about that.
Well,
because
in
the moment he's just playing, feeling the music.
Well,
the more important point is sometimes he plays, and sometimes he plays.
Well, you know what's neat on Kashmir when he throws the ba-da-da, 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 boom, because the pattern alternates over Bonham keeping time.
Yeah.
It alternates between the snare hitting when that little opening pops open, snare, and then right next it's the bass drum gets that discrete note, and then the snare gets this. In fact, I'm surprised he did do a couple of these.
Right.
Just a couple even of those.
Which is. Oh my! Excuse me.
Did he do it live?
No, I just had a little.
Myocardial infarction.
As a friend of mine used to say, I didn't mean to bring that up. No, that's the live when the levee breaks.
I see.
From Chicago,
right?
Basically.
Okay.
I think there might be a version from Belgium, Brussels.
Okay.
Right. But it was only there's only maybe 2 bootlegs where you can hear it.
Okay.
And
Well, they didn't play it a whole lot.
No, they only played it those couple times early in the tour. I think maybe once at the warm-ups in Belgium and then Chicago.
Right.
And the version in Chicago, he basically plays this. It's like... That's how he starts it. He's got a triplet drum fill into the music.
Well, I think that just proves
very different than the
what he's almost trying to do there is manually recreate the Benson Echarach. He's manually doing it.
The sound.
Boom, boom. He's doing it physically because it's not.
He's not in Headley Grange.
He's not in Headley Grange, and he doesn't have, right. I think so. That's in that instance that might prove our argument that he's trying to recreate the majesty of the studio record.
Sounds good to me.
That's what I say. All right. So that was terrific. Now, does he have any other variations of that? Or those, since there's only Belgium, Chicago, and Stade, are those pretty much really the only examples we have?
I think so, yeah.
Okay,
I mean, there's no other recordings of it until later when Page and Plant did it, without Bonham. But
that's
ridiculous.
The
way Bonham played it, it's it's slightly different, but I do think it's because, like you said, he was in the big hall in the Chicago Stadium, trying to fill up the sound maybe a little bit.
Well, I can say, like, I put, did you see the clips of me playing with the Kashmir guys when I was playing that live gig? Okay, the thing that always stinks, especially about Amber Vista lights, at a show like that, where they might sound so beefy to the audience, when you're sitting behind them on stage, I find myself tending, especially Moby Dick doing some of that stuff, overplaying and adding more strokes because it sounds so thin to me from where I'm sitting behind the seat looking at all these people.
Right.
I feel like I'm not cutting it, so you kind of overplay in a weird way.
You often hear Bonzo shout to the monitor guy to give him more drums.
Oh, no shite.
Yeah, you can hear in the bootlegs, he'll go, more bass drum, more tom-tom. And it's like, I'm sure he wants to hit the drum like that and hear it back. Well, and not have to, slam it to get the...
I have pretty much all my bootlegs. I got them years ago on those, what are those things you plug into the back of your computer, those sticks or whatever?
Oh, yeah, like a drive?
Flash
drive?
Yeah, back when they probably held, like, maybe like a half a gig each or whatever. But yeah, I got to really shore up on that, man, to get even close to where you are with your knowledge of it.
Well, I think, it'll be fun to go through some of that stuff. We got a lot of requests from, there's a request list that I actually wrote down. And
do you want to read some?
Yeah, I think maybe we'll conclude this one.
This video we can't, we'll conclude.
We'll wrap it up.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
There's some really good questions. Somebody wanted to hear... some excerpts, Bonham's drumming, and one fill in particular from Hamburg, 1973 concert. Oh man, those short, those European shows in early '73. Bonzo is just off the hook.
Fire.
Just
on his
so creative.
The last of his green sparkle beauty.
Yeah, and just firing up really hard. Totally. So there's a fill on "I Can't Quit You" that I'm going to get to, and. There's also a Heartbreaker intro from the second night at Madison Square Garden.
Do you want to put those in separate videos or keep them in this?
Yeah, let's put them in separate videos. We'll get around to some of the stuff.
It's just easier for people to find it.
People seem to want to hear a tuning video, so maybe we can, do like kind of a brief talk about tuning.
I think what we're going to do is we'll have several tuning videos. Okay. We'll have at least a couple for snare drum, at least a couple for toms, at least a couple for bass drums. One thing that's so important to the Bonham sound, though, is the tighter pitch of the drums, rim shots, but also, too, we talked about having the heads played in and stretched in a little.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember that quote that we used to read in the old Led Zepp books and stuff, now you see all the time on the internet, where Bonham is talking in an interview where he's like, well, you see that snare drum there, that top head's been on there for 5 tours.
Right.
And that's probably a 72 interview. Remember, in 1969 they did... remember, just because they did 4 American tours in '69 doesn't mean they...
73 tour of U.S. was their 10th tour.
Yeah. So, but the point is that if we did a tuning video where we started with brand new heads from the beginning, there'd be a whole lot of putting the heads on, stretching them, playing for 10 minutes, stretch them out. They really have to be broken in. Yeah. And any studio, any engineer, anybody that ever says to you, well, before you go in the studio, right before you should put brand new heads on your drums, that's a fallacy. From my opinion.
Well, I've never heard that actually, but
it's very common, especially younger bands. They'll say, all right, you'll see it in like Modern Drummer and stuff. So you should go in the studio with new heads. No, you shouldn't. You really, it's unless one of your heads is really damaged.
Yeah,
put on a new head.
Unless you really like that sound too. But the thing for me is the feel of the drums. Like this tom-tom head may be original, I don't know, but this is from the early 70s, 1971. I bought the kit with these heads on. This is an Ambassador. Just it's probably mid-70s.
Well, it's old because back in the day it said Ambassador Tom-Tom. Right. That actually is the word tom-tom.
Yeah. And then this one is a Ludwig Weathermaster medium.
Right.
The old 750.
This is pretty much Ludwig's, I think, equivalent of this.
Yeah.
Now, is this still an Ambassador, or that might be 2-ply? Because remember the old
that I don't know.
2-ply.
I tend to think not.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think that is a 1.
I have no way of knowing. And then this 18 head is an Ambassador tom-tom head as well.
It's just like this one.
Yeah, and this one's got the little Manny's music.
People saw it in the video. Manny's music.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. Some people commented on that. So these are well broken in, you know.
I gotta tell you,
I think.
No.
Either that or I'm on my last.
No, so what I'm gonna do is I took 30 seconds of footage of George playing that from the side here, which we'll throw in an auxiliary video for this. We'll say we can put it right after and say, here's 30 seconds of the bass drum on February 6th or 7th when we were recording. You can see how George foot. I mean, really, that Speed King, and I don't mean for this to sound like an insult. It's actually a massive compliment to you. That is one of the hardest.
It's one of the saddest motherfuckers I've ever played in my life.
Well, it's a really sickly Speed King. But that's a testament to you, man, because you'd never know about you playing it.
Well,
and I mean that.
I might swap out and put the Camco on there at some point.
I love
Let's do it now. Here it is. Camco chain.
You can find those.
This is my favorite.
There, you find them all over eBay.
Sorry, Speed King. Take a walk.
Right.
Okay.
There we go.
So, yeah. And
that's pretty much all I use now is one of those Camcos.
I think, as far as the Song Remains the Same video that we did.
Yeah.
To listen to this Eddie version, I think a lot of people wanted to see the bass drum action on that. I don't know if they got a clear glimpse.
Well, do you want me to do it again with this? Do you want to shoot something right now?
Yeah, sure. And then you can do that.
Okay, so what are we going to do?
I'll just do that opening of the Song Remains the Same Eddie version again.
All right, hang on a sec. So we're going to get a reference here.
And I won't do it too fast either.
So there's the camera right there that's going on. Yeah. Okay, so right now we're filming simultaneously. You will see this in another video. So right now, I'm getting it ready.
So that's it, basically.
Now,
that's the beat.
You know what's beautiful?
And I'll slow it down too.
Yeah, slow it down. You know what's right there? There's one little note in there that a lot of people might not realize you're actually playing. A softer bass drum note.
Okay, I'll do it again.
Let's see. Hang on. You know what happened? This is one of those fucking times where I was talking to my friend about Ryan yesterday. When I hit it and you see the numbers go and you go down and it doesn't record anything. So forgive me. But we have to just rectify this.
One more time?
It's a massive pain in the ass. So here we are. Camera's rolling there.
Rectify. Does that mean make something a pain in the ass? Or rectify?
So we're doing, this is The Song Remains the Same. Listen to this Eddie, the bass drum camera. Right now that's still recording. You'll see that in the video that we're doing. So right now
we need a slate, we go.
Exactly, we need the slate, okay? So
all right, ready?
Yeah.
that.
Well, that was perfect. You know what was really good about that? By the way, keep that pedal on there. The action's so much smoother.
Yeah.
Is how you how in a lot of those things we had the but we're really the pattern on the bass drum still is 1 2 1 2 1 2 groupings of 2. Boom 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 boom.
Yeah.
There's no more than that.
Right.
And what's neat too is how you're
You
kicking
mean this? You mean this?
Yeah. Yes,
Now I often wonder, is he going?
I think he's doing that. Yeah.
Is he alternating? Like, or just?
Well, he definitely does the one you just did now, but I think he also does the other one at different times.
Yeah, because the ending of rock and roll, like 75 style.
Yeah.
It's almost always. That was a little sloppy. I kind of fucked that up. But okay. Also, is he going? Or? I think he's doing this too. Because I think you can see that in Earl's chord, he's doing a double stroke on the floor tom. Many variations, many possibilities.
Okay, yeah. So that was the foot cam. Okay?
Yeah.
There it is. Okay, so good.